so bright. What's going on, guys? No, just checking in. We are officially done with week 1 of the new Sunday series, Road to Ripped, where I will be documenting my journey from 219 pounds, which I weighed in last week when we did our very initial weigh-in, down to about 200 to 203. We will be putting an extra special emphasis on doing this in a way that's sustainable and not terribly hard on my mood. With a history of depression and anxiety, it's obviously really important for me to navigate that carefully and respectfully. So every Sunday we'll go over my weight, my body composition as it changes, my diet, my exercise, my mood, and see how it's going. So last week, like I said, it was my initial weigh-in and I weighed in at 218.9. Let's get on the scale first. Let's see if I was able to successfully start the weight loss journey during week 1. 217.2, as you guys can see, we were able to lose 1.7 pounds. The first few weeks are really kind in this sort of way. I've done this series before on the channel. I called it the Summer Shred last time I did it, and I did successfully lose plenty of weight. So the first week is always like a really fun and easy week in terms of knowing that you're probably going to see some progress on the scale. I say this in every video and I'll always say it, weight is not the most important thing. How you look and how you feel, those are more important. I think documenting your body via video or picture, it's also very telling, as well as how your clothes are fitting, but we're going to go ahead and track the weight because that's a really easy thing to plot and just look at as it changes. The number one thing I had to focus on this past week was reestablishing good habits that are going to bring me success, because I really would like to see this be a productive thing that we do here until about the second week of June. So I elected to use MyFitnessPal for the next 13 weeks, something I think I really lost track of towards the end of my last Shred series, where I started to really struggle was understanding just how much food I was really taking in. I had this previous mindset that so long as I was eating healthy, clean, so to speak, lean meat, seeds, nuts, fruits, veggies, tons of vegetables, and then some complex carbs, I was like, it doesn't really matter how much I eat. But I did find that it was pretty hard to lose weight once I'd already lost a lot of the initial weight. Since I'm starting this series at a lower body weight in general, 218.9, shooting for an all-time low of 200 to 203, I had a feeling it was going to be really important for me to understand my macronutrients for the foods I was eating. So I've been using MyFitnessPal, and they've got me pegged at 2,420 calories per day. Of course, I get to eat back any extra calories that I burn off. This is based roughly on your basal metabolic rate, which is about your resting weight. So they do your caloric deficit based on where you would be if you were just trying to maintain your weight. They figured that out. They chop off some calories. We go from there. And I've got a personal goal on here to lose 1.5 pounds. And I'm really pleased that I lost 1.7 pounds. That tells me this is working. I can really say that my first week of using MyFitnessPal consistently, there's a lot more calories and a lot more things than I realized. Like the density of calories in certain things like peanut butter and oils and stuff like that. I mean, it seems logical, but once you actually get down to how much you're using when you're cooking and prepping food, it kind of surprised me how quickly I was meeting my goals for the day. So I kind of had to adjust. I actually only went over like twice. I was a little worried that that would affect the outcome of my week, but I think since we're early in the weight loss process, it really wasn't a big deal. Now, as far as my diet, I am for sure sticking to lean meat, seeds, nuts, fruits, veggies, complex carbs, stuff like that, but I'm not being insanely tight on the no added sugar right now. The only thing we're doing extremely strict and rigid is no gluten. I'm sticking with that. I'm not going back. Not only am I interested in the anti-inflammatory properties of removing gluten and perhaps eventually grains from the diet, a lot of my trigger foods are gluten-based foods. So it just makes sense to me when since I'm pursuing this whole thing. It gives me a chance to have some mental health benefits as well as weight loss benefits. Week 1 of training went really well, same as it always has been. That's one thing that's been a consistent in my life and a constant for a long time. I show up, I work out, I choose to do CrossFit, and so to that effect, my programming is already set out before me. I don't have to come up with anything, I just have to show up and kick ass. So we got to do snatches, muscle ups, and a lot of other cool things this week that I really enjoyed. Everyone in CrossFit right now is currently in the middle of what's known as the CrossFit Open. We all do the exact same workout and we track it, and you get to see where you are compared to other people in the world that are doing CrossFit, and then the top athletes get to go on to a big competition. That won't be me. But I've really enjoyed just the atmosphere and the energy that's involved in that. My favorite thing by far about CrossFit is the group energy and the community aspect. It's more important to me than anything. I am sort of beating my hands up at the moment, and I'm struggling to keep them healthy with all this bar work, but that's always been an issue for me. It's not a big deal. No doubt in my mind that CrossFit is going to continue to be a really, really big added bonus for getting shredded and lean. I've really benefited from how much conditioning and cardio work we get to do in the midst of all the weight training, gymnastics, mobility, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, stuff like that. All in all, I'm feeling really good, feeling really positive. I think this is going to be a success. Having done this before and proven to myself that I can do something like this, it gives me the confidence to go ahead and just implement a plan, trust the process, and just put one step in front of the other. Everything's going to be okay. The MyFitnessPal thing, I think, is going to be a big, big lifesaver because it helps me not stress so much. Like, I just know what I got. You know, I know exactly how many calories I can take in, and that just helps me gauge my day and my energy levels and my pre-workout meals and everything like that with less like mystery. No, I wonder if I'm overdoing it, I'm not overdoing it. So getting a better sense of that is awesome. I understand a lot of people do not want to see me get in my underwear and pose, flex. So if you don't want to see that, this is your warning. Spoiler alert, it's about to happen. For me, I really do want to see the body change. It's very interesting to me, and so me being 217 right now, or this morning when I weighed in, I want to see what I look like flexing and doing these poses at 217 and then at 200. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. This is your chance again to leave the video. Otherwise, thank you so much. I will try to get a full day of eating video done this week, and I hope you guys are chipping away at your goals. Check in with me, let me know how things are going, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Here comes the posing. I appreciate you. Let's shoot for another 1.5 pounds next week, and more importantly, let's shoot to and just keep reestablishing those healthy habits. Peace.